quite expecting to sight ones like Abraham Traore coming on the scene. I would be quite disappointed if we go, yeah.
That means like it coming like nothing wasn't reaching the source. No word song wasn't power then. That would happen.
I brethren coming like the prophecy fulfilled. The things that I been reasoning of such time that Africa must be free. The brethren had said Africa must be free by 1983. Well, remembered all these things as prophetical reasoning. The timing in the years, they might give a date of time, might meet that particular date of time arithmetically. But when the man them yanked up and say Africa must be free by 1983, you know, and them kind of word song from them such time. I am quite expecting to see ones like Abraham Traore rise up and say, well, no more of the colonialism and no neo-colonialism and no neo-cons and no neo-nothing.
Yes, sir.
Fire burn. You know, so I'm saying, yeah, really quite, you know,
pleased.
Yeah, pleased and like expectant. I was quite expectant to see these things happening throughout the continent and throughout the world. It's just happening on the continent only, it's happening throughout the world. Even man like George Floyd that got called out from that incident there, when that had happened and such like that. And the whole world stand up and say, well, this man stand up on this man neck from such time, you know. And them things they more than 400 years according to pt.2, you know. It must come to you know,
a culmination. It must come to a peace.
I see my brethren, he even went, I think it was Ghana, when he was invited to their independence celebration and so. I think it was the anniversary of the celebration. And one of the things I observe about the brethren is that he meeting with the dignitaries and so, and he ain't going forward with no shaking hands and with the brethren, they want to watch me. Yeah, you know.
They know that is a universal love from worldwide influence, you know, the black man worldwide. Yeah.
And where's you see this brethren here, he's, you know, totally anti-apartheid, you know, he's not keeping up none of those colonial wine. So I'm very proud of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In reference to what I was saying about keeping the connection. Between the youth and things. One of the things from since such time in Iman shut up on the revolutionary ways and things is one of the things they were showing I is that a key thing that they use against the revolution, people of like thinking minds, is divide and rule. Divide and rule has been used for many, maybe thousands of years. I think it's up inside of Willie Lynch theory also. One's need to take account of Willie Lynch theory, like read over some of the things that's up inside of there. And you will see how realistic it is. Because Willie Lynch is a kind of man that say if you put his things into aspect, it will go on for thousands of years, you know. You know, because it's based upon you putting something into the black woman's mind.
Into the genetics,
and it will go on for thousands of years. So one has to be very mindful, you know, mindful of these things, you know, along the way, you know, and don't get carried away. So I'm touching about the divide and rule. So when I look into this divide and rule thing, it says you put the elder against the younger, the man against the woman, the not so dark against the so dark. And these kind of ways where you find very little differences and try to make a big, instead of you saying that the whole fullness, all of I and I have oneness, is one aim, one destiny, one everything that I and I looking to arrive at, you know. So I'm saying to say, this is the kind of things that get in fullness into I, that I have been always living that life knowing that you're not supposed to have that wedge
Disconnect.
driven here amongst the generations. As a matter of fact, as I mentioned about the Griot is a key man who always passing the knowledge from such generations to the present generation. The Griot is a kind of man, I think, live it within I rates because are very in tune with this person being the Griot and always having to keep divine knowledge, not so much written down, but in I call that you can mention of things that happened 25, 30, 500 years ago.
Yes, give thanks for that energy because I feel like, you know what I mean, just like we was reasoning, the half that was told,
but not particularly written down.
That not written, and then the half that was written that wasn't told. You just had to have the great man them to really keep that connection with the half that was told. That half is a more intuitive half too, to keep that recall, to keep that I call or that message always pertinent as a person alive in it. You know what I mean? Keep it alive in it, to always have it to you know what I mean, share it with ones. Then no matter, even sometimes the forum could be people between 16 to 20, the forum could be 20 to 45, the forum could be an ancient forum, you know what I mean? But the idols always had that energy to keep our message potent and make it last in the minds of the listeners now.
That's what I mean, fireman. I try to keep that kinship of the Griot being and that Griot irates then. I try to iterate on the type of person that it would take, try to keep the high rates alive.
There's our next meeting, others aligned to that cosmic conversation. That conversation would us always be able to touch home then, no matter how or what obstacle in the reasoning way or what a man might have been taught before he bring that to the table. Then if the truth does transcend all boundaries, then the truth does end up transcending our boundaries, especially from the mouth of the Griot. Then the man could relate the truth without that kind of blockage or that wedge, you know what I mean? We could see is an important thing. It's looking very important to them because right now it looks like even the turning man against woman is a kind of gender war. It's a kind of, it just looking like if it's just, it didn't have no relate, we just call it real late because we're not late, you know what I mean? But it didn't have no real relativity between things because we come about from that, we come about from the relationship of a man and a woman, we come about, that is even how we are, that is why we are aunts, we are uncles, everybody come about through people relating, you know what I mean? So, that to be anti-relationship, to be anti that come like this, anti-life then, you understand? And that they looking like is a goal for some ones in this time then, to keep ones off of that one-on-one making tree then, you know what I mean?
But the truth don't ever change.
Yes, sir.
Nothing is new under the sun. So real realities always exist and will always exist. And the only time really is this time, is right now. So now, in the now, the past and the present and the future all exist in the now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thoughts of the past is a remembrance, and the vision of the future.
A record of the past and a map to the future, my lad.
That's what we're going on with right now, because what you do right now is what entertains what's going to before the eye and, the surroundings and the entire nation. It's based upon the decisions that we make right now. Like even that rates on the 25th there, May 25th, which is OAU Day. Ones want to remember in remembrance Organization of African Unity,
Yes, sir.
That is the day His Majesty declared to be African, all African Unity Day.
Yes,
Right? So when you say African Unity, and I see ones that like to make mention of the OAU and mention other ones who was there
I never mentioned earlier.
and don't seem to mention His The reason why Africa Hall was built in Addis Ababa was to entertain having the first OAU meeting, sending out to all the heads of state. And one of the things they did also, I was there in Africa, and was this, across the road from the OAU, which is Africa Hall, is a kind of there's a road and then a park in the middle and then a road on the next side. So you have two roads, one running this way and one running that way, and a park in the middle. In the park in the middle now, what they did was they planted trees to represent each one of the heads of state that attended that first OAU meeting. And the reference there was that it's a growth that they're dealing with. Each man, like they had a tree to represent each one of the individuals. I call each one of the heads of state, Kwame, Nkrumah, you know, this kind of man, Jomo Kenyatta, you know, His Majesty Haile Selassie. But they had a tree planted for each one of the individuals, and along the way people went and steal off the plaques and you know, representing the tree. But saying all that to say that the trees was meant to be, is a growth. The thing that they started there was meant to something to grow and become, to, you know, flourish and things like that. Yeah, so the 25th is the OAU day. People seem to lose aspect of that because we have the AU now, which is the African Union. And they're supposed to be carrying on what started off in the OAU.
It's coming like the fruit of one of them trees. Living fruit is try already know how, you know, I mean, you can see the effect and change in Africa, and it's a bright change, you know what I mean? And
which Burkina Faso would have had a representative there
yes,
at the meeting, you know?
Yes, I'm not sure if it could be Thomas Sankara if he was around that time.
I'm not sure if it's Sankara. Yeah, but as we mentioned of Burkina Faso and Thomas Sankara, when Thomas Sankara came to power, the name of the place was Upper Volta, you know. And Sankara, within his revolutionary mind, a revolution simply means to move forward. A revolution is like how the earth makes revolutions, and you know. So a revolution is a movement forward. Yes. So in Sankara's revolutionary mind, he cited that Upper Volta was not a correct irate of what's going on there. Instead, he said he'll name the place named Burkina Faso. And Burkina Faso actually means the nation or the land of people, the upstanding people.
Upright people.
The upright standing people in Tanzania. Right? So that means all of Aina is Burkina Faso, because Aina, as Rasta people, is the upstanding, you know, the upright standing people. So I give thanks to Sankara for even changing the name to Burkina Faso. And now in this year time, is the man like Traoré now, who is upholding that energy.
Living up to that name.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. As the Burkina Faso, as the upright standing.
Upright standing.
Yes, sir. I give thanks for that. I mean, that for over the years, I as a man was always interested in Africa until people tell me like, oh yeah, I mean, Buzzrock our next Africa song, you know what I mean? Because I man did always love Africa, but come in like, no. And over the years, I get real, I lose interest, I kind of take my interest away from it because of all the puppet, different kind of, you know what I mean, come like them colonial puppets who was only, you know what I mean, corrupting Africa and furthering, you know what I mean, and prolonging.
Furthering their pocket.
You know what I mean? Prolonging the liberation of black people, and you know what I mean? So now it feels real refreshing to see one of them fruit. You know what I mean? And the OAU really come to, you know what I mean? Come to pass in my time this time, you know what I mean?
One of the things they keep saying is Africa is the future. I come to realize Africa is not the future, you know. Africa is now.
Yes, sir. This is the future.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Aina is writing the future. History is a very funny thing. Every day we are actually writing history. In the morrows, it would be history. So the things you're doing today is actually writing the history of tomorrow. So you have to be, basically mindful
Yes, sir.
before you're moving forward and realize that you're actually writing history's majesty as we reasoning on these matters
Yes,
all
sir.
the time. You say, even if you sit still, it's still we're moving into the future,
Yes, sir.
So you have to in somehow in your own way, because each one of us have our own intuition, our own everything.
A unique chart.
Yeah, that that we bring to this whole creation. You're supposed to use your uniqueness for the betterment of the whole.
That's
Just
right.
like how when rain is falling, showers or raindrops. Each raindrop is an individual, but yet still when they come together, they make a pool. They come together, they make a river. They come together to make a sea. So it's all individuals, but yet still is the collective,
Yes, sir.
is the overall fullness. So I say that to say now, your individual sweetness, your individual iriness that you bring to this creation here, you're supposed to use it for the betterment of the whole of the creation.
Yeah,
And that's your whole purpose for being here. I would say.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. Up inside that, you know what I mean? I'm being this too long, but I want to ask you a question that will make me go down in a deeper realm because I don't know. It's like, this come natural time. Huh?
Cut.
Hold on.
Right there, just
We've been touching some wide
continue on.
Yeah, we
wide
keep it
variety
simple.
of
Yeah, but I thought it was natural. Natural is mistake.
you have it going over there.
Yeah, it was the last question. It was going on.
Yeah,
What the
go ahead
question
and
you
the question.
Yeah, I will bring the question in. How we just navigate to know, you know what I mean? Just like you say, we're making history living today because tomorrow is something to look back as hindsight, you know what I mean?
As compared to foresight.
As compared to foresight. How you think we could deal with foresight as the half that was written, the half that wasn't written, was told it is have an energy of our intuitiveness that's been needed for the researchers to research what the intuitive man them say. So what is the intuitive energy you feel within you for we to just sum up the reasoning, you know what I mean? Going forward, we go tell black man worldwide, right now as Bongo Josh being the man then, we go tell the black man them worldwide, intuitively from your own irons.
Yeah, so stuff one of the main things that His Majesty is saying is the thing that you're doing have to be steered with the compass of the Musa. So when you come into your decisions and things, when your highways moving forward, always try and be in tune with the Musa. You know they say religion is personal. So you're supposed to have a personal relationship with the Musa all the time. So your thing will be morally, you have a moral compass. This is what I want to reason now. You're supposed to be moving forward with a moral compass. One of the things Malcolm X would say is by any means necessary. But when we move in be by any means necessary, it have to be by moral aspects. It can't be just haphazard. Yeah. It have to be moral. So I say that to say that in the physical world they tell me we have two eyes, but in the theoretical world they tell they had three eyes.
Yes, sir. The mind's eye.
Right, and they say there's quality to it, and when you come to overstand it's the first side.
First side, that's it.
Rastafari, right. So I say, within the moving forward, we have to try and keep the conscious and the part where there is called the subconscious. You have to try and have them moving forward within the same eye rates.
Balance.
Yeah, and ask the Most High that the things that we're doing is acceptable in the sight of the Most High. Because the thing will not be established unless we have that guiding light, you know, and don't become too full up of your own self. Always be able to take counseling, because in the counseling of many,
Yes,
it
sir.
can make wars or even more better peace,
Yes, sir.
you know. And Farai say that war is not the answer. So there is peaceful ways of solutions. And as I said, the point in solution, in the moving forward, we must always try and look at the solutions.
Yes, sir.
I and as a people have many problems, but the thing is not about the problem. Each problem in itself gives an opportunity for a solution.
Yes, sir.
So we have to look at the solution, and once we get on the solutions, everything will be all right. Each one teach one. Don't feel that you know it all.
Yes,
You
sir.
know,
Yes,
you
sir.
know,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
it's a collective security, like I was saying before. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So with that kind of mindset, you know, everything is all right. The group name, I had to touch about these earlier groups. Our group name, the Fifth Dimension. And one of the things that it says, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should, whether or not it is clear to you. You know, so
Yes, sir.
you just try and move within the eye rates of the
Yes, sir.
Most High and thing, and don't try and, you know, be obtrusive and try to swim against the waves.
Yes, sir.
You know, move with the rhythm of life. Come
Yes,
forward
sir.
to the same Nyahbinghi Ancient. You're moving with the rhythm of life.
So the part of nature, the nature just take the part of least resistance I have. So that part where nature would take is how the stream does flow. The stream don't flow uphill. You know what I mean?
Wise mind.
The stream does flow with the flow of the earth then. So I agree with the full 100. You have to take that natural moral direction, that directive then, you know what I mean?
Because Babylon is used from nature, you know. Babylon is take everything in nature and trying to make it a part of the self. Because the flow is the river, and then the river bank is where the bank, right? You know, so Babylon is trying to take natural things and make it. But I can go with the natural because it's natural according to what the virgin numbers say. Natural, you know?
Natural is the
So yeah, so with the natural liberty, you know, and the guidance, like I was reasoning, the guidance of the Most High, you must keep in mind that the moral compass of the Most High, Rastafari, yeah, and each one teach one come together. I think should be able to, there is nothing that could stop a momentum when it is reached at the perfection of time. You know what I'm saying, Bingy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
I give thanks that for the eye forward and in the cosmic conversation and holding our vibes because, you know what I mean, this is, I would say there's one along the path to many, you know what I mean? And I give thanks to be among the numbers and to hold our vibes with the eye that
I like
you
to
know
say,
what I mean? Rastafari.
give thanks for the moment, hail the Rastafari, and now we say hail the our nations, hail the our people, for the merciful kindness is great towards I, and the truth of the Almighty Rastafari, I join forever. Blessed be the eye, hail the eye, Rastafari, mercies enduring forever.
Blessed love. Like, share.